how's it going?
I'm all right. How are you?
Yeah, hanging in there. And hello, how's it going?
It's going.
All right. How are your weeks, Chris and Joe?
They're okay. It's still busy, but I'm trying to wrap things up before I start the new gig.
Oh, hey, so you got the new gig.
I did get the new gig,
Sweet.
so start the 14th.
All right. Congratulations on
I
it.
appreciate it.
And my week has been crazy because I'm doing about 5 different jobs at once currently.
I totally get that. Is there any hope in the future for you, Joan?
I'm not really sure yet. I'm doing renewals this month, and I'm still helping part-time on the help desk. So who knows what's going on? They're talking about wanting to make it statewide by September. And I'm like, I don't think that's going to be possible.
Yeah. Push till it breaks.
Yeah, we'll see what happens when we add the next group this next month.
The problem with push till it breaks is that they don't really have a good plan for when it breaks.
No. And certainly not after the stories we've read from other states who have integrated this system. We may be looking at Fed involvement, but we'll see.
It's unnecessarily going to help. The feds have similar problems with their systems.
Yeah.
Legacy
That reminds
sucks.
me, it's been a month or so ago, just without any kind of warning on our end, the state upgraded their permitting system. So that's the system by which when someone wants an electrical permit, they come to us, and then we actually, technically, they're supposed to just go to the state and apply for it. But they come to us, and we help them go to the state and apply for it. The site was broken.
Oh, that's always fun.
They upgraded it, and the upgrade broke it. It stayed broken for the better part of 2 weeks. So anybody who wanted a electrical inspection couldn't get it.
Jeez.
Which means that anybody who wanted power turned on couldn't get an inspection so that we could turn their power on.
That's always fun.
Yeah, my workhorse story that's new anyway is they had threatened to promote me. They actually did it.
Oh.
They finally found a fella because they've been promising for some time now to both backfill somebody they let go that was a junior sysadmin in India and hire somebody to help me here. And they did hire somebody to help me here. Yeah, it's just, but it's still not going to make things better in the short term.
Of course.
So that's why, looking at the fuzzy crystal ball, it's going to take a long time to get all these pieces together, and there's no telling what they're going to want me to do then if they still want me to do anything. So, I took the week off. Just when they hired the new fella, say, okay, great, yeah, I like that guy. I'm going to take a week off because I don't think I'll get another chance before the end of the year. And I've been
right.
worked at this place like 18 months now, and I haven't really had an actual vacation.
Yeah.
Staying a week in the hospital doesn't count as a vacation.
No,
So
that's not a vacation.
So that's the thing there. Yeah, we'll see. It's hard to. It's a gift horse in the mouth sort of situation, but context matters. So hard not to look it in the mouth. And see, and Logan, how y'all doing?
We're all right. Logan has survived band camp.
Oh, yeah. Given how miserable it's been out there, that is quite an accomplishment.
He's made an impact there, just for the simple fact he's shown up. They've now made him basically commander of the low brass as a freshman. He says, I'm teaching somebody how to play euphonium. I don't know how to play euphonium.
Congratulations.
Hey, welcome to the modern workforce. And I dare say the old workforce too, but I don't have any
Right.
experience with
Well,
prior to 70.
it's kind of like me and Peg. We're fixing to start our third month as being the
Yeah.
entire company. I'm dying.
I hear you, man.
Quit tearing up my chair.
If you can only get the cats to help
Cat
instead of
food is
doing like this guy.
$60 a bag. Cat food is $60 a bag. They need the help. You know, I need to pimp them out some way or another.
Earn your keep, guys. Earn your keep.
I need to get you guys all cute and dolled up and make us a cat calendar or something.
There you go. There's an idea.
That's actually, a thing.
Yeah,
Amazon has. I don't know if it still happens. Folks would just sell notebooks with funny thing covers, and there's just nothing in it. And Amazon would just print them out on the fly. You could do that with your calendar. Just make your crazy calendar, and
oh yeah, we'd use a picture of Oracle on doing this podcast for the cover.
that's right. Make a penny per sale, but hey, that's the way Amazon works.
Oh yeah.
Anything else exciting in your world aside from being overworked?
That's plenty of excitement for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can't report on anything spectacular. I have been working ahead on the Star Wars game and when we may actually get into the Star Wars universe. So I have purchased a bunch of stuff on Roll20 in anticipation of such. So I'm hoping my game experience will improve.
Oh, you're talking about the driving Roll20? Don't worry about that. Hell, it's all about the story.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could do this without Roll20. It's just having pretty pictures.
Yeah.
Helps focus the mind. Or defocus. It's just
Fun.
Yeah.
So we'll probably be out of this first arc in the next probably 2 sessions. I've got to get hold to Brother Howard and we get that nailed down. I asked him to guest star in the final episode.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah, exactly.
It'd be nice to see him, but man. Yeah, I'm a little concerned about Steven. Every once in a while, I'll look at his Shadows Hold thing where he does most of his commentary.
Yeah.
And he apparently fell into one of his stupors and woke up and it was 96 in the house.
Ooh.
Yeah. What? Seriously, man. Damn. If the one thing doesn't kill him, heat stroke will. So it just
If needed, if anyone needs them, we have box fans that we can lend around if anyone's AC does go out this summer. Because that is not fun when that happens.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
My AC hasn't gone out. But my AC can't keep up.
Yeah, it's same here.
Yeah, it can't keep up, but it's at least working.
Yeah. It's not Robert who came by. I talked to them before we set this up. And it was like 105 heat index out there, and they have them out there moving couches.
Yeah.
Jeez.
It's like, seriously. And howdy, Mr.
Well.
Peg.
Howdy.
And hello.
Yes, Abby. He just now realized that all these videos go to YouTube. He's, what? I'm like, yeah, you're there without a shirt most of the time. I was like, Pandora's more famous than you.
Logan's just a shadow anomaly back by the.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like that special effect off of one of the Trek episodes. You had the Klingons and the fighting the Enterprise crew on the Enterprise, and they had this energy, the emotion entity that was just hovering over everything. Yeah, there he is.
Yeah.
No, my thermostat was set to 73, and it was 73 this morning, and right now it's 76.
Yep. Pretty much same story here.
I had to turn ours up after the night last night. I like it low at night, which it can keep up with usually most of the time, but I had to bump it back off as 66. I took it down to 72 now, so it's keeping up a little bit better in the sun.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's the afternoon's angle of the sun on the house that's brutal here.
Yeah.
Because mornings and noon and early afternoon, no problem. Even if the temperature out there is soaring, the house is fine.
Yeah.
It's just when I lose that tree cover. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Alrighty. This may be all we have. Neff will wander in if he does, and I'm going to ping Steven because, as aforementioned, we're concerned about him.
Yeah.
Let's see. Ding, ding.
I have straightened out Brickland's token, so now he's transparent.
No, okay, cool. Yeah. I'll have to drag a fresh copy over there.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
In fact, let me kind of get there.
And there's Neff. Hello, Neff.
Enough.
Good evening.
Peg Logan
So,
has been working on his character for Ondond today. So he's looking at a half-elf mage. Wizard, whatever.
The wizard.
I'm a magician. I want a magician for you. Just be glad I'm not a wizard.
You're doing 2 fighters, so it makes sense for a spellcaster.
let's see here.
I'm looking forward to the next episode of The Magician.
We got to do the first episode of The Magician. I'm actually kind of looking forward to that too. As we've been commiserating the works schedule and hell, I
There's
haven't
Steve.
written a thing in forever. Alrighty. Hello, Steve. How goes? How's the temperature?
A little bit warm. I got out of my chair and made them for dinner.
What did you manage to get it down to, though?
It was 84 for a while there before I said that's too cold.
Okay, fair enough. It was the 96 that had us all worried. You can say that's too cold, but you'll still sweat out and suffer heat
Yeah.
stroke at that temperature. Yeah.
I'm not that hot when I'm in my chair because I've got the vent there that kicks on. It runs about 10% of the time, and it's just to circulate the air. And as I'm lower down, once I stand up, the heat from the higher air and everything, like a sauna.
So you're saying you can't pass through a vertical frontal boundary as you stand up. You just go through that heat layer. Yes.
Something like that.
Suddenly the sun, oh my God, the oppressive heat.
Rebooting Chrome. Be right back.
Okay.
Sit over here, Gonzalez. You sit? Okay.
Alrighty. Let Steven get back in situated and then we can go ahead and start rolling. Literally. All right.
I'm good. I just need to get in the game.
Okay. So does everybody remember where we parked?
Our biologist had a little hands up, don't shoot situation.
And then got shot. Yes.
Yeah, and then got shot. And we just had a after action report with the Excalibur.
Okay. So
I guess hands up means shoot me in security parlay.
how do you think the red shirts all die? When somebody surrenders, they shoot them. But if somebody's actually being hostile, they don't shoot them. So, yeah, they get shot. They just don't train them right in Starfleet now. Yeah. Okay, let's start with a couple of rolls, and then we'll have the intro of the current game. So, Hector, starting with Mr. Logan. So, your task at the moment is you're trying to find out where the hell these Klingons went. So, let's see if you find out where the hell these Klingons went. That's going to be for you, control science roll. And we haven't filled out your focuses yet. So let's just go ahead and give you benefit of the doubt. So 3 dice there. So it's a task roll with 3 dice. Yep. And that's what you get. And then you can be assisted by the ship. Eep. Where's the ship? And that's going to be sensors and science. And it's just 1D for the starship task roll. That's what you get. 3. Nice. Okay. So what that tells you, and I see everybody's looking at the right map, is that our Klingons, once you start, okay, how the hell can we track these cloaked ships? And what you find is, it turns out that you hurt the D7 pretty substantially, and it's leaving breadcrumbs. As it's going through warp, there are traces of radiation, plasma, stuff that shouldn't be out there in a line in interstellar space. They can only be created by dropping out of warp after having been leaked out of a nacelle. Hey, we have a trail. And to your surprise, or not perhaps, you may be a very implacable fella. Instead of heading down towards the Sadat, which is what Harris of the Excalibur was concerned about, the Klingons are headed, and I'll draw it to the extent of your sensors, this way. And is that in the right layer? Yep.
Now, is that a button hook pattern or just a arrowhead?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And then they do this stuff. So all sorts of crazy, but no, it's to indicate the direction. Generally, a reasonably straight line. That's the confidence of somebody with a cloaking device. They can track me. I don't need to jig and try to be evasive. I'll just go straight.
Junior Tactical Officer Madden, what do you make of this?
I see that they're going down in a straight stretch, and he's going to receive. They've got a guy over here. He's going around to see the big O, and they're going to drop the thing right there. And God knows what's going to happen after that. All those bombs and things going to explode. And my God.
Boom! There it happened.
Touchdown.
Then you got to mention tough acting to Nacton.
Yeah.
Tough acting, Tenactin. For what ails you? They'll take them Klingons out quick. So that's your clue. They went that away.
Yeah. Yo.
What do y'all want to do? Now, Excalibur intends to go rendezvous with the Sadat and continue because they still got a base, a bunch of Klingons there they're trying to root out. You, on the other hand, were tasked to try to find out where the D7 went.
We have an idea.
Okay.
It seems to be going the way that Excalibur's going as well.
Not exactly, but yeah, scans off.
It's in the
Well,
area.
it would be-
Excalibur's
it would be-
going. Excalibur's going down here.
Yeah. Yeah, down here is where Excalibur is going.
Bring me a
And
fresh
then-
bottle, Logan.
The other one's headed. The other ship's headed in this direction.
So the
But at the same time, we have crew on the Orson Welles to pick back up the remainder of the von Steuben and it to tow back. Now, I was going to ask, how far can our sensors ping and give us information?
Can you see there's a lot of overlapping circles right here. Let me
Yes.
kind of move things out of the way.
Biggest one is us.
Yeah.
You see where the light gray circle is extending out from you? That's the range of your sensors.
Okay.
And Excalibur has a similar range, heavy cruiser, modern stuff. And you'll see that the Sadat, for example, does not have that much sensor range. So the destroyers are not scouts. You, however, you're good. You're as good as a heavy cruiser when it comes to sensors.
All right. How far can we launch one from where we're at?
A probe.
Oh, your probe. Oh,
yeah,
your
our
probe.
probes. Yeah.
Not that far.
All right. That's what I was wanting to. If I could, I'll just start shooting some out as we tow, and they'll let us know if something's there.
Think of the probes as relatively short range. Or use them sublight or within an encounter at warp, but you can't shoot them from system to system. They don't work like that.
Gotcha. We'll give the information we've just received of the D7 and send that forward to the Sadat and the Excalibur. And we're just going to quickly tug all this stuff back.
They're flanking you. Watch out.
Yeah.
The Orson Welles can tow the von Steuben by itself.
Oh, boom. There you go.
Yeah, and that is the plan. In fact, it's going to head over here to drop it off there, and then this convoy here is going to come down and rendezvous and pick it up the remains.
Okay.
So that's going to take, we'll go ahead and move things around.
Yeah.
That's where you'll end up. And the Excalibur down there. So that just leaves you. Which direction did you want to go?
So we're gonna go in an arc. We're gonna let me freehand this. So I was thinking
Okay.
that way it takes us along this path, see if we can't find anything that would better help our track. If necessary, leave some buoys.
Alrighty. So the darker gray inner circle is maximum warp for a day. And you don't necessarily race around everywhere at maximum warp. So probably half of that is your typical daily travel. So a week later, you find yourself about here. All right. Mr. Logan, same role.
3 again.
It'll be your control science. Yeah, the same role you just did. The 3. Yeah, oh, God. Yeah. And then assist above the ship. Let's see how that goes. Holy moly.
There it is.
Okay. Let's 2 momentum. You only needed 3 to nail it.
Yeah.
It was okay. There you go. So as you're moving out here, this path continues to extend. Let's see here. I'm going to zoom in a bit. All right. It looks like they continued that way, but a couple of things become notable. When you get to this point, there's an unusual cluster of activity there, which is deep space. There's nothing there. No system nearby. No anomalies charted. Just a spot in the black. And then the sensors show that whatever happened, they continued on in that general Madden direction. Yeah, but there's something going on there.
All right. The only thing I can see of note is warning all the way to the left, the Kenny.
Yeah.
Way over there. Warn that. And also warn Starbase about this lane, the garrison there at Thico. Also, the ambassador over here at Delta Borealis. Like, this whole lane is now at risk.
And the lane, the point of having that drawn is that there's regular shipping traffic going up and down. I just didn't want to put hundreds of ships all over the place.
Yeah.
Maybe not hundreds, but probably easily a couple dozen ships along that line there. But yeah, it would probably be a good warning to them. Hey guys, you might want to find shelter because there's a possibility we have hostile Klingons in the area. So that's good. Alrighty. So what do you do?
Can the sensors tell us how long when they dropped out? Say they dropped out of warp here.
That's right.
Apparently.
A day. At least they were in that area.
Okay, so how far ahead of them? How far ahead of us are they?
They're not that far ahead. They're probably, if they followed the line that Gonzalez thinks, they're probably right at the edge of that arrowhead. He thinks he has them nailed to within a light year or two.
In that case, I don't know what their sensory capabilities are while cloaked, but they can possibly see us.
Let's look at a couple of the streams. If they were the Sadat, no, they can't. But they're a Klingon heavy cruiser, a D7, the most modern in the fleet. So it's likely that they have better sensors than that. Although we've never actually captured a D7 or intelligence hasn't gleaned that information yet. It is probable that they can see you, yeah. It's also probable that they're wondering, okay, it may be that the Carson was just headed this way. You're headed towards Thico. That could be a possibility that they would think, or you might be tracking them somehow. Being who he is, he's probably being suspicious. So we'll see what he does.
Okay. Just putting that out there for the commander that we can't directly see him. We can see the traces of his passage, but he can probably see us at this point.
I acknowledge that, and we'll probably be at high alert until we reach the Excalibur and Sadat's position.
Are we going to swing back to Excalibur and Sadat, or are we going to keep chasing the Klingon?
We're going to stay on course toward the Excalibur and Sadat.
Okay. Another week passes. Yeah, you're not going to investigate the thing that Logan found there?
We want to drop a probe here.
Oh, yeah, we can totally drop a probe and get a good look.
Okay. So, yeah. Then that is done. It takes a day to arrive at whatever that is. And as you approach it, you get a better and better fix on its position. Again, deep space. You could miss it by 100 million miles and never know what it was. But no need to roll again. That was a pretty kick-ass roll from your science officer. You drop right on top of it. Let's see. Let me get everything sorted. Beep, beep, beep. Yeah. Get you up here. It's all good. Yeah, let's actually pull out a thing here. What would be appropriate? Oh, yeah, this one. A little bit of music. So you drop out of warp in the vicinity of what appears to be a rogue planetoid. It's a few hundred kilometers across. It is far from any star. Mind you, this is not unusual. Rogue planetoids, rogue planets are a thing. Solar systems tend to leak, and this may be one of those things from a nearby star that's been wandering around the cosmos for God knows how long. But as you approach it, you notice a couple of things. And Logan, you go ahead and do your roll. Actually, do I have that out already? I do. All right. That's going to be your probe that you're launching. Good Lord Almighty. That's another. You just needed 2. So you got 1, 2, 3 more momentum. 5 momentum for you guys tonight. I'm pretty sure you're going to launch a probe quickly, so we'll go ahead and get that done. There it is. All right. So there are a couple of odd features, though. If they're a dead rock in space is one thing. It's unusual to find. Space is huge. You don't run across them by accident very often, if ever. If you did, at warp, boom. Deflectors don't push this sort of thing out of the way. But what's odd about this one is that it's not entirely dead. There's an immensely powerful energy field surrounding it. Powerful enough that you can actually see it visually on screen. And then only on one side of it is what appears to be a debris field of what, when you scan it, it looks like the same material, the surface of the thing, spread out in an expanding wave, moving at fairly high velocity away from it. That intense energy field makes detailed scans of the surface almost impossible. What do you do? No signs of other ships, by the way.
Quinn volunteers to take a feral.
Well, we can approach a little bit closer if you want to do that.
It's definitely a curiosity.
It is. And being a science vessel, you're like, oh, yeah, jackpot. You don't see this sort of thing every day. Nope. You can measure your distances. You're not that far away from it at this point. It itself is, as these things go, tiny. That's yeah. It's bigger than Death Star. All right. So let's see. I guess we'll do our NPC on the approach. One thing, and something happening simultaneously. We'll do this off camera. It's been 2 weeks, right? So Brooklyn and others that were injured during the previous games, you may not be 100%, but you're back on duty. Main engineering is still flooded with radiation.
Yeah.
You're doing your business from the nearby office space, and anytime you need to go on main engineering for repairs and work, it's in suits.
Yeah.
Let's see, and that covers quite a few people. There was, I think, Arcation,
almost all of engineering.
yeah, Dan, everybody in engineering was wow. But Erdine and I think Quinn also were recovering from some injuries from like a previous game. So I just want to lay it out there that everybody's cool. You can act and you're still recovering, but you're there. All right. So approach. Let's let our con officer, our Vulcan friend, do that. As you're approaching, you've launched one sensor probe that I'm aware of. Did you want to launch any others?
It'd be nice to get a full mapping of the area. I would definitely like to get the coordinates of this, maybe a beacon of some sort. Map it.
Okay.
Moving, so.
Yeah, things are going pretty well on the rolls. All right. So we'll say that's 3. 3 cents. Come on now. Get me back to the pointer. There you go. All right. Where do you want to put them? Just ping me and we'll send them that way. And then Quinn, you'll get a roll for the probes.
Send one of those up in that debris field for sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was thinking the same thing. Do a little triangle.
Ding, ding.
Triangulate it.
All right. Got it. All right, Quinn. You roll for which on the probes. And Carson is approaching. You're just going to get a kind of you can orbit this thing. There's really not much gravity to orbit. You're not in any danger of falling. It's like a microgravity environment, even on the surface. Let's see. Quinn says, let's see, control science 2-1. You're also assisted by the ship. You guys are rolling well.
Looking for the Carson's character sheet.
Yeah, it should be at the top. In fact, let me get that D4 and D7 out of your way. Actually, no, we'll leave it be. You found it. All right. Damn. Okay. You needed 3 to nail it, so that's 7 momentum now. It's nice to preload on that stuff because we know where the dice rolling will go.
Only when it's a crucial time.
All right. So here's what happens. The probe that you sent into the debris field disintegrates pretty soon after it hits. It begins to enter the debris field. Its analysis, what you're picking up, Quinn, is it is material from the surface, or at least the crust, but it's so pulverized and so fast moving. There were when you came out of warp and scanned it initially, you couldn't tell that there are things that are moving at a significant fraction of the speed of light. And the relativistic effects made scanning them difficult, but once you got into it, yeah, it's almost instant death.
A relativistic sandblaster.
Do not go there.
Yeah. No es bueno.
That one is dead.
Important safety tip. Thanks, Egon.
Thank God these are unmanned drones.
Yeah, thank God. And the poor little AI and the things are going, no. Anyway, so off of the others, yeah, you're beginning to get a kind of a surface map of this thing, and also, perhaps more importantly, a map of the extent of this energy field, which your con officer is diligently keeping out of. Just seemed like a reasonable thing. You were not specific, but she's not going to go diving into the glowy thing. The energy field. Not sure what that's all about. It's significant. Let's see, Logan, let's get a science roll. Just not assisted by the ship. This would be a little different. This is you kind of looking at the situation with your science hat on. Okay, we'll see what you got.
With
Okay. Yeah, the first one though, I don't think it took right. Yeah, the science 4 part whiffed, but let's see. Let's do a reason
Yeah,
science. Yeah.
something
So
screwed
click
up
on the
there.
attributes reason. Okay, so you would have gotten a 2. We'll keep the whiff off the first, but you got a 2. All right. First thing, you need to understand how powerful it is to understand what it may or may not be. It is many orders of magnitude more powerful than could be explained by a Ferris core or a dynamo effect in a planetoid this small. In fact, planetoids this size don't have that. It's almost unheard of to get a magnetic field off of a micro-sized planetoid like this. So that means it's not a magnetic field naturally produced. Is it produced by some material that might be within it? It may be, but the field composition, the types of radiation and the mix that you see doesn't match any material that would create a field of this intensity. You don't have a solid thing of dilithium in the middle of the planetoid or anything like that, right? So you're scratching your head. You know what it's not, but you haven't really pieced together what it is. What you do know is that it's dangerous. It's wise not to approach too closely with the ship because you're not sure what would happen, but you're pretty damn sure it wouldn't be good. All right, let's see. This thing, whatever the buzzsaw is, the sandblaster. So probe over here and the Carson. It makes sense to evaluate what you can see on the surface in this region. You can go ahead and do your reason roll there, Logan, again. Reason science. Able to make that roll? Okay. We'll just go with what you got before then. Not really sure what's going on with that. It's as though this material almost appears on the surface going up. It's not, you can see the surface even through that energy field. And it's not as though you're seeing boulders and such lift from the surface and shoot into the sky. It's no, so stuff appears at the surface already moving really fast and just keeps on going. And that's just weird.
Okay, that answers my question because I was going to ask if it looked like this stuff was like remnants of some sort of weapons test or
How
if
much
it was
stress
continually being generated.
It's continuously being generated, yeah.
How much stress is that?
Not much, but let's give you a roll at Insight Science because you're onto something.
I'm
Okay,
gonna read
you raise that. Okay, yeah, go ahead. Okay, yikes! Yeah, you got it. Okay, you do the calculations, you check it out, you compute the mass of what's being ejected, and yeah, it could be a mass driver, and you could explain that since you picked up on it.
boys, I think we've got a vessel of some sort.
So you're saying this isn't just a planetoid that's almost like a giant ship?
Looks like it. Is there any construction, any buildings or anything like that we can detect?
Not that you can see. It looks like a planetoid, spherical rock in space. And to your point, let me do a quick roll here for your con officer. Reason con. Boop. See what they get. That's good enough. They compute. Now, mind you, impulse drive makes bouncing around on sublight between 0 and significant fractions of C almost child's play. It's really dramatic. If you computed it out, it's something like you regularly undergo 600 to 1,000 G's acceleration and go from 0 to half light in a few seconds.
Right.
So impulse drive operates, though, not through relativistic means. It doesn't shoot stuff out the back and make you go fast through Newton's laws. Instead, it's like a mini warp drive. It alters the shape, space around you so that you don't go splat. This is not that. And you working with a con officer, you'll see it next to you, you compute that this thing is moving at a significant fraction of the speed of light for a natural planetoid. It's probably doing like 0.1 C that away, which is lots. Even interstellar objects flung from things that are heading towards each other are sedate compared to that. But that would also indicate that if this is a mass driver, it's decelerating. It's throwing things out in such a way to slow down.
Okay.
Is my empathy picking anything up?
Let's see. We've already determined that you can't scan past the energy field. So you ask for life signs and could scan past the energy field. So you don't know. Let's see what you could do for your distinct. We'll give you like 1 die on a presence science roll. Okay. So, nah. Aside from people that are feeling very achy all over the ship for various reasons, no.
All right. Inconclusive.
Alrighty.
Okay. If it's decelerating, who's controlling it and how?
Okay. You can, based on what you found out so far, but go back to the big map here. You can trace its origin. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Back over here. Make sure that's the right one.
What's its destination?
All right. Something like that. You think, yeah.
We're still on the same screen.
Oh, hold on. Now I'm trying to draw this out for you. On another one.
Oh.
Okay. So let me. There you go. Looks like its origin was in this nebula. On the map, it's to the left. And I got it circled. And it keeps on going on and on. It may be trying to reach that star system off to the right. Well, it's not a very good match. If, according to your con officer, they're going to miss if that's the case. But that would be about where they would finish their deceleration and kind of match the velocity of that solar system in 3,000 years.
Given non-FTL sensory capability, how much more closely does an attempt to approach that star meet with the current course and and deceleration rate? One thing.
Yeah, I do. You could see that the error was probably created through a lack of understanding of other objects in space between the 2 points.
Okay.
Like misestimations of the masses of stars, the presence of other deep space objects, unknown and uncharted to whoever started this voyage. The thing that may stand out to you is that both of those are Class G stars. They're both white stars. So it may be that there's something about the destination that they found attractive. You'd have to do some more research to compare the two. But if you're going by the theory that this is a vessel that on a very long trip, they're halfway through it, and it looks like whoever they are, they're going to miss. But at the same time, you're not the first one to visit them. You're not
That's
sure
true.
what the Klingons were doing here.
I know that the Klingons are very stereotyped, but it's entirely possible that they stopped off for a few hours just to investigate it for the same reason we're investigating it. They were curious. They came across something they didn't know about and didn't understand, and thought they'd do a little bit of poking around.
Yeah, it's like those Orion scientists that discovered that gate. If you watch the latest Star Trek, Strange New Worlds. But that is a possibility, absolutely.
I guess take notes, send a report. Doesn't look like we can't get close. There's nothing on the surface to contact. Whatever it is could be within the center or the interior of this rock.
I do not recommend attempting to beam down.
I would
Yeah.
agree.
That
This
looks
is-
like scrambled eggs. Yeah.
This is just a warning, do not come near, danger, don't approach type situation. And in 3,000 years' time, if Starfleet still exists, they can investigate it when it stops.
And everybody wonders, where are we? This ain't Albuquerque.
Should have taken a left turn.
Yep. So, Neff, you're in your lab, of course. Why don't you roll a control science roll?
You cannot control the science.
That's right, he can't, but he tries. If we still have him here, he may be off and doing other stuff. Okay, I will roll for him. Control science.
Maybe he got shot again.
Yeah. Or the memory of it, right?
I am
Yeah.
Misty.
Oh, no, there you are. You're back.
Sorry, I missed part of that. I heard control science.
Okay. You know that gadget that you've been working on, the ever improving one to detect the radiation that you've been obsessing over the past several weeks?
True.
It says that there's a pretty powerful source of that nearby.
That's worrisome. I think I'll tell somebody.
Okay.
Captain, I'm putting something on your tactical display. If Madden hadn't marked it all up, you might want to wipe it clean first.
That's right. The Etch a Sketch.
Yeah.
All right, there we go.
All right, I'll pull it up.
According to Calvin's instruments, let's see. I'll even change color. God, to do that, it's gonna look like the man in the moon and make it darker because that's so bright. Dark. Okay. Yeah, I'll just mark out squares. There are 4 areas within it that are a couple of 100 kilometers away from each other in a fairly regular grid deep beneath the surface of the thing. And it's 4 of the most powerful traces of that energy signature you've ever seen. It's powerful enough to get through this energy seal on the outside.
You think that might be the power source?
That form of radiation, all you've seen it do so far is basically nullify thought. If you have a brain, suddenly it stops working. That doesn't mean that that's the only thing that radiation can do, or doesn't have other properties. But that's been the impact on life as we know it. Up to you what to do now.
Can't get closer. The best we can do to map out and get as much information as we can.
So, map.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, map it out, and while we're here and wants to do little experiments without going near it, can. And when everyone's satisfied, we'll mark it, give a guesstimate of path of travel, and mark it danger, red level, don't go near this. So, yeah, anyone who wants to experiment or map it, go ahead, and we got time.
Okay. Who else doing that?
Yeah, sounds
Who else?
good.
Okay. Anyone that wants to participate in this mapping thing, control science assisted by the ship. If you have appropriate focuses, go ahead and add them. And let's see what you get. And for argument's sake, we'll say that you're moving around this thing. So the position of you and the probes will have changed. You can even launch it. Another couple. This is 3D, right? So we'll say you have the whole thing, the whole globe visible at once. It actually takes more than that, but we're good. Yikes. Okay, Quinn. Damn. Okay. You built up like 11 momentum at this point. So I guess this is where you're going to start needing them. All right. Let me do something here real quick. So you begin mapping it, and it takes a few hours to be thorough because of the inability to get through this radiation shield. But at some point during the mapping, when you have these probes out, you're in this position, you're pretty sure that this distance from the planetoid is safe. You've actually gotten the probes closer. So this is as safe as you feel comfortable getting. And let's see here. Oh yeah, gotta go digging for them. Nope. So many maps. We've already got like 30 maps. Yeah. Oh, there it is. That's the one I want. Okay. And grab the one I need. There he is. All right. Bless you. Quinn, you damn near leap out of your seat, cat-like, when this pops up on your display. It's the D4.
Hello.
And it looks like it's not cloaked, and it's in the middle of the debris field, slowly heading away. Right. You're not sure why it's not being torn to shreds, but it's not. But important point to note is that it, according to your calculations, seems to be right smack dab in the middle of it. If this were a cone and there were a cylinder in the middle that went right down, that's where it's at. And it doesn't seem to have noticed you, because if you'll notice, your position is tangential. You're hidden by the energy field of the moon. These two probes can see it, and it perhaps can't even see the probes because of all the nonsense that it's in the middle of right now. But yeah, there's the D4.
Excellent. All right, I report it.
Red alert status.
Okay. So everybody wakes up. You go to red alert, and what's next? It continues to move slowly away from the planetoid, following that middle corridor. And it's obvious as you examine it a little bit more closely over time, it has its rear shields to max, all power to the rear shields, taking some impacts, but definitely not being shredded, and definitely not cloaked. You cloak, you don't have shields.
So, one good blast to the shields might shred them. So it seems shields works, protects, albeit
At
at
least-
cost, in one direction to survive the field.
And your probes
It might
don't have
also
any.
be, it might also be a situation where, like being in the lee of a stone or something like that, there might be less debris in the center of the cone than there is at the edges.
All right, Dawa, since you have that thought, why don't you roll a, control? We'll give you a security, assisted by the ship sensors, and see how you do. And then we'll see if we can paint that. By the way, everybody has a pool of, we'll call it 11 momentum at this point. If the die rolls start looking sour.
And let's see, I had the ship here. Sensor.
Okay. You bring up tactical and try to analyze that as though it were a weapon, the mass driver throwing out these near relativistic particles. And yes, given the mapping that you've done so far with the probes, the time you spent examining it, there is almost a clear cylinder right down the middle that's about 100 kilometers wide. that's much safer than the rest of it around it. So if you were a betting man, then what the D4 is attempting to do, or has done, is egress from the moon along that corridor until it reaches a point that the cloud is dispersed enough that it can go laterally and escape it. But right now, yeah, they're having to keep their shields up because there's still stuff that's hitting it with some frequency.
This cone isn't really all that big. I mean, it's
a few 100 kilometers, yeah. And eventually it expands out to thousands and then millions. But yeah, it's not all that big starship scale wise. That's right.
what's the range on a tractor beam?
Easy. You're in range right now. You just have to clear the radiation field, basically make yourself visible to the D4. But yeah, you're in range of tractor beam and phasers.
Let's have a little fun with this D4.
Phasers is one thing, but I'm thinking if we grab her by a tractor beam and pull her sideways into the stronger portions of the field, might do our work for us.
That's what I was thinking.
Okay.
We would only have one shot with phasers before it could move, possibly get out of range. We grab it, we can hold it.
It depends on how much power it's got available to. But yeah, we'll see.
All righty. So you move that out of the shadow of the moon. Let me grab this thing. Come on. We're going here. Yeah, you got to get wide enough that you can get a good shot without being interfered with by that energy field. Okay, Dawa. The tractor beam is yours.
Okay, that's going to be what?
So let's see what you got here. It's going to be control and security assisted by the ship.
All right.
And any relevant focuses and such that, plus the momentum, because you got
Yeah, I'm going to spend a point of momentum on that.
ton of momentum.
Shipboard tactical systems?
Yep.
Would that count?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm spending a point of momentum, and I'm getting a point for shipboard tactical systems. And
Okay.
then assisted by the ship.
It'll be weapons and security.
Weapons. Security.
Nope, still 2 is what you needed. Okay. Not even going to give them a roll to avoid it because they hadn't seen you yet. They didn't even know you were there. Let's see here. Oh, yeah, good. I do have it. So, yes, tractor beam just lances out, grabs hold of the D4. The next move, of course, is reverse engines try to pull them aside. So, that's going to be your con officer. Let's see here. Con. Here we go. NPCs can't burn momentum, so you're just going to get what you get. Control 2. Except that's going to be enough. It's just about the ship. So let's see. Engines con. 4. Okay. Yank. So the D4 drifts into a much denser part of that annihilation field. And you can see it on as the frequency of impacts on their shields, it goes from a little bit of like that. And you think of popcorn, right? Popcorn starts off slow, but then it goes, yeah, that starts happening. And then the D4, they increase engine power and try to fight back. All right. So we'll give this guy a chance. It's going to be... see how he does. Not so great. And yeah. Okay. So they fail to correct for it. But at the same time, they know you're there now. What can they do? Not those. Not those. Yeah. So let's let them hang there for a round. Okay. So you have a damage roll on your beam. Roll that 3 times. Just hit tractor beam damage, tractor beam damage. Your tractor beam's doing the first one, and then the annihilation field's doing the others. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. All right. And that's enough to tear down the shields. Okay. So that's it'll be a weapons hit. Yeah, and you start seeing there's impacts start happening on the hull. Okay. So D4 sees that what you've done, and that captain understands the peril that he's in. He didn't have shields now because of it. So he says the heck with it. He says, yippee-ki-yay. And instead of fighting you, follows you. He just flips the D7 back around and starts going back down that central corridor. You're still trying to pull him aside, but he's basically closing the distance with you at an angle. So there's going to be some con rolls here in a moment to see how well that works out. But as he comes around, he fires what he can at you. You, by the way, can fire back. Your phasers are perfectly capable of firing while your tractor beam's going. Alrighty, so let's see here. We'll say that weapon hit was, let's see which of the weapons.
Phasers as well.
What's that?
I plan to fire phasers as well.
Okay, you go ahead. You do your thing.
That is what, daring security?
When it's on the ship, it's still control security. When it's you doing rolls and with a personal phaser, it's daring.
Okay. Still shipboard tactical systems.
Okay.
Assisted by the ship. Weapons. That would be weapons security. All right.
So 3, yeah, that hit. Go ahead and roll your damage with the phaser. And you're still locked down with the tractor beam. So you can roll the damage for it as well. And in a
You
moment,
want just the one roll?
Yeah, just the one. We'll see if we get more based on what happens with the con officers here in a moment. Because they're fighting the tractor beam back and forth and to see who can pull whom. The D4 is a bigger ship. Carson is. You have the benefit of not having to worry about so much your position. Okay, where is the guy? Here he is. Not you, this guy. Yeah. Okay, so we're firing. Security. Okay, assisted by the ship, which will be weapons security. Okay, so disruptors, that will be a hit. And let's see about the photons. Okay, chance to avoid those. Battle of the con officers coming up. First off, let's deal with your damage to them, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. Okay, call that structure. And then on that, 1, 2. Okay, so that's just another one. Engines, nice. They're getting dinged up pretty nicely. They damage you with a disruptor hit. And boom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So that's you on your shields. You're already red alert. 2, 3, 4. Okay. So that takes out half of your shields down to 50% with that retaliatory strike from the D4. So everybody felt that. Boom. All right. Now, con officers. And let's see what happens next. Control. We'll just do it straight. Versus Starfleet con officer. Okay. They both failed. Okay, fine. So basically status quo. The Klingons manage to stay centered, but they don't tear you up any either. He's using his momentum. He's not going fast. But he's going down that center corridor in what appears to be an attempt to approach the planetoid. So we'll say he's gotten to this point. That actually puts you out of arc of his primary weapons. He's more concerned about staying centered in that corridor than shooting you, for perhaps obvious reasons. You'll, at the same time, have to maneuver to stay where you can keep your tractor beam locked on. That's clearly what he's trying to do, is get under that energy shield. All right. So what's your next move at this point?
More phasers, more tractor beam, more
DACA.
More DACA.
Okay, you roll it first.
Okay.
Let him have a crack at you with his photons. They can arc out.
I'll take the momentum this time. So here's the phasers.
Okay.
Assisted by the ship.
Yeah, good enough. You just needed 2. All right.
And I need to roll. I don't need to roll for the tractor beam?
All right, once you're locked on, and he hasn't been able to break it, so you roll your damage for the phasers and for the tractor beam. And some photons come your way. Let's see. Let's see if they actually come in close at all. No, it didn't look hopeful. Okay. Nope. The photons go wide. All right. See what you did. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And 1. Okay, so 3 hits total. Ooh. So one of your phaser hit was right in the forward boom section in the control area. So essentially a bridge hit. That's going to have some negative connotations here for them in a moment. All right. So we'll call that 2 with another engine and structure hit. Let's see if they recover from that. What typically happens when the bridge gets hit on a ship? Everybody on there, massive damage, things, the exploding consoles blow up.
Rocks everywhere.
Rocks everywhere. Styrofoam falls from the ceiling. That sort of stuff. But the important part is that the ship loses control for a critical few seconds. And they're at a particularly critical spot right now. So let's see how bad it is. We'll give their captain a chance to save the day. Okay. With a presence. What's the other one? Yeah. Yep. Oh, no. So, with horrific fascination, you see that bridge hit. Those you, Dawa, know immediately what that did to the bridge, but others you can't tell immediately, except when you begin to see the D4 begin to veer off course. And at that point, it's so close to that edge. That's a maximum death zone in terms of the velocity and concentration of the material being shot up. And sure enough, it drifts right into the wall and just vanishes in a blinding flash. No more D4. Boom. Oh, hey. I actually saved something up for this. See if we can find it. Here it is. little bit of sound.
And they're shattering kaboom.
Yeah. Okay, there you go. You have successfully defeated a D4 cruiser.
I congratulate Dawa and then turn to one of the security people. Go get engineering to add another kill tally to the wall.
Aye, and runs off. Yeah, Brooklyn's already on the way up with a plasma torch.
He's
Captain,
like, I got a new hand.
I'm going to spare this for a minute.
Quinn says,
I think
I like the idea of what the Klingons were, the Klingons were going to do. I think we should do it.
Let's not risk it.
well,
D4 is in better shape than a D7, so I don't think they would risk it either.
they may have. It depends upon what they were doing here. Given the information we got from our scientist friend and the presence of the D4 here, whatever this was being used for, or the reason for its existence, or who created it, or whatever, I now believe the Klingons were using it as a staging base to conceal their weapons, that new weapons tech.
And
That's
I
what
would
the
agree.
D4 was here doing here, rearming.
I would agree with that theory.
That's what we're detecting in the inside is their armament stash. First of all, we've got to face the possibility that D7 is now equipped with these weapons. Didn't appear to be at the earlier.
We should assume that any Klingon vessel we interact with has these weapons. We don't know how big this renegade group is. But yes, I think your theory is correct. This was their hidden stash. He knew how to approach it.
Logan, why don't you roll a science roll real quick, like you have been before? Because something just happened. Well, something else just happened. Yeah, assisted by the ship. Oh, yeah, you got it. Take a look at the map, and do you notice something has changed?
No more thruster.
Yeah. There's no more mass being driven, no more thrust. That which killed the D4 has stopped.
Somewhere deep in the bowels of the planetoid. Whoops! Did I do that?
Send a probe in that area. See if it's like a reactionary thing.
Okay, so let's see. Send one of the probes, and it kind of carefully goes over there. So now, Quinn, you get to roll. What does the probe see? Okay. And momentum, if you want to. Reroll if you want to.
Yes. Let me re-roll and add a momentum die.
Yeah. You guys still got plenty. All right. And assisted by the ship. And we'll see how much detail you get. Okay. So that's worth 3. So the probe survives going to that through what would have been no man's land before. It gets to here and is able to basically look right down that corridor where the D4 was looking before. And one thing is immediately apparent to everyone. You were not able to see buildings or constructed or constructs on the surface of the moon before, but now you can. Because a Klingon D4 cruiser suffered a catastrophic rupturing of its antimatter core 200 kilometers away from the surface of this thing.
Oh my.
Boom. And it's damaged now. But it doesn't give you visibility into this.
That's not a moon.
That's no moon.
It's a space station.
It is a massive space station. Just unbelievably massive in its scale. Even Starfleet's never built anything quite so big. Even Starbase 1 is not quite so big. It's freaking huge.
The Starbase was still tiny at this point.
But now that you're looking at this through this damaged area, it's clear to you that the mass driver, which there are two of them, one on each side of it. How do you rotate the moon? But they don't. They built two engines, one to go forward, one to reverse. But the mass driver on this side of the moon is destroyed. It is a tangled wreck, because some of the stuff that it was throwing out at that time went the wrong direction when the explosion happened. So, yeah, there's significant damage to the thing. As well, the energy field that's surrounding it is become a little unstable. It's changing shape in unpredictable ways.
This is going to be a lot of paperwork. Okay, so how close can the probe get? Is there still radiation fields? Is there still stuff affecting the outer?
It looks like it can go right on up into it, as long as it keeps to that center corridor. That looks like that part of the dry field was meant for ingress and egress. So yeah, you can get the probe up to the surface, at which point you lose contact with it. It follows its safety protocols and pops right back out. It's not destroyed. You just lose contact with it.
We're going to need a bigger boat.
And at that point, we'll pause it.
There you go.
Sounds right.
Good show, gang.
Yep.
All right, good deal.
Good deal.
Next time up is
Me. Yeah, Logan says he's up.
Mr. Logan. All right, good deal. More adventures in the land of the not dead, almost.
Yeah.
Somewhat.
Not quite dead.
Not really. Mostly dead. I feel happy.
Being dead's an inconvenience in Ravenloft anyway.
Yeah, for real. All right, very good. Whew. So just a general announcement. I'm on vacation next week. I don't know that's going to offer any opportunities for anybody, but I'll be mostly around the house because I can't really go far.
Yeah.
Do plan on going fishing in some mornings, just if I can find a couple of spots around the Elk or maybe Tim's Ford before it gets hot.
Yeah.
Then yeah. But if anybody had a need to, I'll be here most of the day. Let's see. That was basically it.
Calvin, the bridge. Are y'all done shaking the ship? I got them things to do.
Actually, we're not done shaking the ship.
We've only begun to shake.
That's right. So
Yeah.
I'm really pleased with your solution for the D4 though, because there were lots of ways that could have gone, and that was the perfect out. That was nice.
I just wish I knew which end of this thing was Alpha and Epsilon, because I just have this feeling we just probed the a-hole.
If you look at it, they're both the same. So
Yeah.
it's
I got
kind of like one of those worms that it's yeah. You just don't want to know. You just don't want to know.
yeah, just probing the a-hole. You can call it fist contact. I don't know.
There you go. All right, Mr. Logan, look forward to your game and everybody else. Thank you much.
No,
All
right,
sounds
talk to
good.
you later.
See y'all next time.
Good luck with the
Take
fishing.
care.
Yeah.
Finally, yeah, a chance. It's been a long while. So we'll see.
Okay.
Be well, all.
Bye, all.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
I ain't
Good night, y'all.
Bye.
Peg, you made any progress on yours?
Got a few maps written. Trying to finish my intro.
I got you. We were trying to figure out some of Logan's story. He got him a walking stick. It's not really a powered staff or anything. It's just a stick he found. That's his primary, and I gave him a short bow. They spent most of his gold on, so he has something for a ranged weapon. And he hadn't bought it yet, but we were talking about it. You only got 80 gold, so I didn't want to burn up everything you had.
Yeah. He's going to need supplies and other things to be magic-y.
Yeah. Or it could be his quest, trying to find his spell book.
It's out there somewhere.
Yeah, you can just find a real good one to drop him. This spell book's full of first level spells. How about that?
Yeah, I got a few maps, a few basically MacGuffins out there.
Yeah.
Enough to keep you busy.
Like I said, I bought some new effects, bought an ass ton of tokens, and I looked up an ass ton of tokens. Some of them may have to re-PNG to clear them up, but I got a lot of character portraits and that sort of thing for people we meet once we get off-world, whoever decides to go. So I do say we're probably within 2 sessions of being ready to go in phase 2.
Yeah, we can make it last longer.
Only got 3 more big things to happen. So I said I had to just way shorten it to get it to this point because too many things have to happen at once. Once the discovery is made in the forest, the military is going to drop down, lock the city down, and the battle ensues with that. And then you've got, once everything gets uncovered in the forest, that's going to draw attention from outside because now it's can be pinged. So we're only talking a matter of a couple of days at the most game time. But we hadn't even finished 1 day yet, really, 2 days. So this whole first phase is probably only going to take across an actual week of game time instead of the 3 months that I had envisioned to begin with. That's what was my whole hang up, is that was the only way I could make it work, is for everything to happen like it needed to happen. It had to be pretty much simultaneous. So I've had to discard some big pieces of it. But I'm working on what happens next. And it has a much broader spectrum. It's easier to work in. I put myself in too tight of a confine to do what I needed to do here. And getting out into the big galaxy, there's much more room to fumble around. If that makes any sense.
Oh yeah.
And me and Logan pulled out the boxes today and says, we forgot how heavy they were. So you may only get one at a time. But that one, I pulled out one bag, and I said, she says, why is that shiny? I pulled it the rest way out. Wildcats #1.
Oh wow.
Foil cover. One of the boxes looks like it got a little bit wet, but everything inside looks okay.
I got you.
Everything's bagged, so.
I picked up something I'm actually excited to read. It's called Animosity. And the premise is that all animals basically become sentient. They
Give me a couple top of yours.
They can talk. They figure they want revenge on humans. And the back of probably hard to see, the back of this has a falcon dropping a hand grenade.
Yeah, there you go.
On the front,
How it grips it.
on the front, it's hard to see it because it's blended into the back. There's a koala holding 2 Cobra 357 Magnums.
Yeah.
And a bunch of turtles with 4-barrel missile launchers on their back with the clackers in their mouth. So I have never been more excited to read something.
Oh, yeah.
Based off that.
Logan found he's getting these.
Oh, there you go.
Let me turn the background off.
Yeah. Kind of how I am. I may have to turn mine off. Here, turn my background off. See my boring basement. Oh, yeah. Adventures of Superman. Yeah.
Jewel for a friend.
There you go.
Let's see.
I found one I've been hunting for a while. I'll give that to you Monday.
Yeah, Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday. It's one of the huge grooves I've been looking for.
That's cool. I've been hunting for some of that too. That's what we were at the escape the other day.
Yeah, actually, I found some 8 tracks too. The soundtrack to Heavy Metal.
There you go.
AC/DC's Highway to Hell. And I want to say this is Led Zeppelin #4. I forget. Yeah, it's
I got you. And Elseworlds Batman #7.
Oh wow, I remember when those dropped.
Yeah, a whole series of Elseworlds. These are all kind of square bound. You know, the Dark Knight #7. There's some good stuff here. This is in some of Logan's stash. Oh my man, you remember this? The Viper TV show, #1.
Yes, I do. I do remember that show. I got a very rare one to find. It's not in the greatest quality, but it's the Avengers Invaders, where Marvel teamed up with Dynamite.
I got you.
All the artwork's done by Alex Ross.
Yeah,
It was very well done.
Green Lantern #50 with a glow-in-the-dark cover.
Wow. I've
This is
never
just-
heard of that before.
Yeah, this is just it feels like the glow-in-the-dark stuff. I'm sure it is. Yeah. You know, it kind of got that gritty feel to it.
I was about to say that would make sense for Green Lantern.
This stuff glows in the dark. Beware my power. Green Lantern's light. Oh, yeah. And I gave him my entire stash of Marvel and DC trading cards with all the holographs and everything in that.
Hey, there you go. Found a few single issues. I'm excited to read that just came out. I need to bag and board them. Oh yeah, this is a rare one. This is one Games Workshop would do. I don't know what's the word, like a vignette, but basically it was called Inferno, and it would have a bunch of short stories by a lot of their authors, a little comic or two, but normally you have 4 or 5 stories in it. Where was it? Oh yeah, they did a reprinting of The Vengeance of Bane.
Yeah, there you go.
That's a rare one.
The original set's probably in there somewhere.
Yeah. Then I found one series I'm interested to read it. It's called Exorcists Never Die.
Yeah. Yeah, I looked at that while we were in Grand Adventures the other day.
I'm like, oh, yeah, I'll pick that up and read it. Basically, they're like,
Yeah, me and Logan thought we were going to Chef Wang's last night because I'm trying to avoid the interstate because I was tired of dodging police cars yesterday. I
yeah, I feel you on that.
I came down Murfreesboro Road instead, which still is a slow boat. And we went by Chef Wang's and they were lined up out the door. So forget this. So we went to Toots instead. He got to go to the original one. So he's been in the South Side one several times, but it's the first time he'd been in the original.
Yeah, original's the best.
We started to go into Great Escape, but it wasn't a place to park. That and it was getting late. It was like 7:30. We want to get home by that point.
Yeah, I understand that one. Yeah, I still gotta bag and board that Berserker.
I got you.
But apparently the Miller World comics are doing I guess like I wouldn't say a crossover, but like everything's combining in one of his universes. He did Wanted, Nemesis, Kick-Ass, Mark Millar. So it's like a team up in that world.
That's cool. So we made our first round through Gammas and picked up some stuff. I found a few, mostly movie soundtrack cassettes. Stuff like Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
Yeah.
St. Elmo's Fire. A couple of oldies cassettes. A couple of cassette singles. I still haven't found my good box yet. I've tried to explain them to my mother again as she's digging stuff out. I said, don't throw these away. I want these.
Yeah.
I'm still hitting and missing around the periphery. The good stuff's still out there somewhere. But I'll bring you some little doodads when I see you.
Yeah. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Like I said, Logan got him a stash. He got all my A-Team books.
There you go.
All my original Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi books from the time period with the covers written off where my sister wrote all in them, but they are there to read. So he got a pretty good stash of stuff to go through to occupy his time. The game started.
There you go.
And there's still more to be found. I dare say a good chunk of it's still at his mama's house. Buried under Neen's shit, evidently.
Not really surprising.
It kills me. Neen jumped my ass about checking the fuses in the Dodge. I said, look, I haven't owned this truck in 15 years. I have no idea. All I can tell you is you've driven it in the ground, broken it off about twice. That was supposed to be Logan's truck. It was the last of the V8 Interceptors. That was the only other 318 I owned. It was a first year for that body style. 97.
Yeah.
No, we started coming by there and pester you. I said, no, it's 7:30. They're all going to bed. I don't need to do that. I said, at least you live, because we come down all the way down Broad Street and then turned to go down Tennessee to head home.
I got you. You would have missed us. We're actually at Costco.
I got you.
Because we're like closes at 8:30 and we need milk, and we're like, screw it, we'll risk it. And it was actually empty. It was nice.
Yeah, we made the mistake of going to Walmart after lunch today and then back to school day.
Oh yeah, it is tax-free weekend, isn't it?
So I managed to get my groceries, but we had to blast through there in a hurry. It was a mess. That we were in the Ford too, so it was hot.
Yeah, we might go tomorrow. We're not like, yeah, let's do it.
You're probably liable to see the Ford passing through town about lunchtime tomorrow.
Yeah, I got you. That's probably when we'll be out.
Yeah, so we'll be taking Logan back to Fortress to turn him in.
It is what it is.
Yeah. All right, brother. I guess just be careful and give Logan's character a perusal. See if there's anything we need to modify on him.
Yeah, I'm looking up right now.
I mean, hang around a minute if you want us to. We ain't got nothing going on. Chris is at work.
Yeah, I got you.
She had to be there at 4, so she missed the entirety of the adventure tonight. But she was home last night. Of course, we didn't get any sleep. Elizabeth at 1 o'clock in the morning decides she's going to go meet Anthony and have it out for the last time again, for the 5th time, that he's wanting to start dating this other chick and just let her fall to the side. She can't understand the fact she's been friend zoned. And we all said, that's not a good idea. It's just not a good idea. She's having Daddy sit in the parking lot and he can observe. So I go back to bed and I had this instant dream of getting up out of the bed naked, walking up to him, putting 3 caps ahead of his left ear, pouring at one of those Dickies yellow cups of gasoline on him and setting fire to him and his Accord and Kroger parking lot and turning to Elizabeth to go back to bed. I'm going back to bed. Then a little while later, when she gets home after a said altercation, somebody's running around in the yard erratically at 1 o'clock in the morning, or 2 o'clock at this point, 2:30. She calls her dad to come out and bring her back in the house, which he does. And by the time they walk through the door, gunshots are fired. So everybody hits the deck. They're on the phone with the cops. She's having to get up and explain to the cops what she saw and all this stuff. But at the same time, we're getting a play-by-play on the phone while she's doing all this. So we got woke up 3 times in the night, and that's why we slept till 10 o'clock and didn't get a whole lot more pulled out of Gamma's house this morning. Because we had to go get groceries, and I wanted to get back before she left. We just couldn't do it. We missed her about 20 minutes. But it was a mess, but Logan got a nice restful night out of it. He didn't get up till we did. So, of course, I don't know how late he stayed up hitting around this shit. When did you actually go? He says 11. Okay. So I was only an hour and a half ahead of him. We didn't get here at 9 o'clock.
Yeah, sorry, it was such a
It was
chaotic.
It was all right. It was just an interesting, typical evening that me and Krista get the one night we get through the week together interrupted. So she was, if you hadn't have been here, I wouldn't have gone back to sleep so fast. It's okay. So I'll get another opportunity next Friday. But she's actually going to start getting into this spinning thing where we went and had her get trained on her little spinning wheel. The lady who designed the box is part of a guild that meets in Lawrenceburg every first Saturday. So this is going to be the first chance she's got to go and meet with them and play with their little doodads. So she's excited about that. She can't believe I'm going to let her go do something on her own. I'm like, yeah, and I got hobbies too. You need to find people who aren't skills to be friends. She only got 3 or 4 that aren't. So this will give her a chance to expand her horizons a little bit, and I'm excited for her. Now, if we can just get Lindsay to go find something to get excited about, so she don't feel like she's friendless.
Yeah, she's getting better. I think she's starting to come out of her
Funk.
Yeah, comes and goes.
I got you.
I'm looking at a login sheet. I think it's funny. The very anti-typical wizard, highest stats strength.
It's his first wizard. He don't know.
No, nothing wrong with it. I just find it. You rarely see that.
At first, I was going to make him a fighter, and then I forgot to change it when I changed it to a wizard.
I got you. So you want to rearrange it?
If I got you, because you can move some of your stats around, you got you have a 2+ modifier to strength, so that was a 13. You have a 2 to intelligence, so that was originally 12. So if you want to flip those, put the 13 in intelligence and put the 12 in strength or constitution. Constitution's a -1, which that's typical wizardry. You're weak.
+2 on constitution.
You have a -1 on your constitution for your modifier because you have a 9. If you have any buffs, you were originally a 7. 15, 8.
Yeah, he had 2 high ones
11.
and 2 low ones.
Yeah.
2 high ones, 2 low ones in his stack.
I was about to say,
He's wanting to, like I say, he's wanting to expand his horizons and try something different. So
ain't nothing wrong with that. Yeah, I was about to say, if you put your biggest into intelligence, you'll be able to do more spells per day. Because right now, all you can do is all your cantrips and 1 level 1 spell a day. 5, you can only do 1. You can only do 2 per day. Which as a wizard, that's where you really excel at, is your spell casting and being able to do something I can't predict, because it's all me and spellcasters, or any somehow wizards or sorcerers somehow pull something to surprise you. In my experience,
particularly doing Matt and Neff.
Yeah.
Matt or orthodox as you can get. You can never anticipate what he's going to do, just like he made the entire party go and check out the cave. I wasn't expecting that.
But yeah, other than that, everything else looks pretty good. You can do half elf, you can do a full elf if you wanted to, whatever you want to do. Was this through PC Gen?
Yeah, the character generator.
Oh, Character Mancer.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Oh yeah, I forgot they have Pathfinder too. Yeah, I have my advanced race guide.
Yeah, I followed your instructions on making half dwarfs. So.
Yeah, it's like a homebrew thing because there's a way you can make a race, and I was like, seems. I'm like, perfect. Yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, like,
it works. It works out.
Well, I was like, it looks right, so we'll do it.
So Logan says he'll monkey with it a little later. I think he's getting tired too. We've had a busy day.
You're fine. Like I said, you got time. Like I said, I got some of my villain character sheets. Mainly, it's me making maps, having the appropriate tokens in it, making my intro story. I'm trying to make it to where I can fill in a few gaps. I might go back and re-edit the game log from the first one and really be like, here's a lore dump.
Yeah.
Read it if you want.
It might give Logan some backstory.
Yeah. Let me see.
Let me go dig in here for a second. I found a picture a while ago getting in the game. Yeah, there he is. As far as what Amdar would be if you geared him up. Let's see if I can get it to put it in the, what I do with it. Where is it? Maybe I can do it that way. Wanting to fight me, ain't you? There you go. It's in the general game chat. That looks about like his age now. That has got some of Cammy's little doodads hanging from it.
Oh yeah.
Looks like more of a winter out.
Yeah, I was looking at it. Oh, not with the boots.
Yeah. But still, I thought that would be another good picture for him once he gets goaded out into the field. If things happen enough, it draws him out, and I wind up having to play him again. Rather than just being Lord Amdar. So Logan says, yeah, I may wind up actually playing 3. But any DM knows you're used to that.
Yeah.
Just gotta keep up with what character you got highlighted at the moment.
About to might go ahead. I'm gonna make all this larger. I might email you the old game log spelling errors and
No, that's okay.
and all. That way I can give that to Logan. He can read through that. And I might repost it to the Discord as well.
I got you. More than likely he'll get it from there. But
Yeah, just gotta make sure the sharing's on. Actually, I might try and make it because it's in Google Docs. I might actually convert this to be a
PDF.
Yeah.
Right on.
So, yeah, I might do that and give you some homework.
I got you. Yeah, I think I'm gonna park it. I got a little high there and started trying to drift a time or two. I was just sitting there with my head, chin on my chest, going, okay, don't go to sleep.
Yeah. I got you.
Brickland didn't do a whole lot tonight, so it was okay. I need to be idled every once in a while. Like I said, I'm in sick bay. So I guess by this time I'm out. I started to do a couple rolls just to say I did. What have I gotten fixed? Have we restored environments yet? Yeah. But he went on to a new topic too quick, so I let it drop.
Yeah.
What are you working on over? What are you working on over there so feverishly? I got you. All right. I guess we're going jet. And I will. You didn't hear from the tags, did you?
Yeah.
You didn't hear anything from them?
Nope.
Okay. Can't say I'm surprised, but I would make a trip up there to get them if they were there. All right. And putz around Tullahoma and be safe, I think, because it's just on the south side of town on my side. So I just dip my toes into Tullahoma and turn and come straight back.
No, I got you.
So I might be able to be okay, and just unless they're parading around the front of Motlow too much. Yeah. That was a nervous wreck all day because I was surrounded all day long. But I was behaving, so nobody complained any. Oh, I did tell you about Tank deciding they're going to idle, didn't I?
Yes, you did. You didn't let me know that.
They're buried in product. Basically, they were barely running when I was in there. And he says it's indefinite. And he wasn't real sure if we were going to continue doing a monthly or not, that there's still going to be people in there moving product out, that there was still a need for safety. But until he found out what his position was going to be, he couldn't tell me anything. But there was a general cloud over the whole place, let's put it that way. And I just hit the high spot so I could get out of there.
Yeah.
Because I was still running late when I got there. And not wanting to draw attention to myself, I just slow boated to get there. So I couldn't get to the hot bottle stuff. And Miss Vicky wasn't there, so I didn't worry about trying to beg for keys to the fence. I missed a lot of stuff like that. I'll fix it next time. If.
Yeah. It's all about ifs.
Oh, yeah. Everything's an if. It's just like raining. Either it's raining or it's not. It's always 50-50. So that's another reason why I want to get this stuff pulled and head in your direction before Wednesday.
Yeah.
And like I said, I got high hopes for that for you.
Yeah.
Maybe easier just to rip the Band-Aid off and not.
Yeah, we'll see. As I have been told, the county is desperate for people.
And your honor and performance will lead to other things. Always does. But just be careful, and I will talk to you Tuesday morning. I'll try to give you some sort of update on what all happens Monday, but I imagine it's going to be, I'm just going to take my time and get hot and stop a lot, drink a lot, make 50 extinguishers last all day. Because there's no other good way to do it. It's just too spread out. But I am going to be there. I'm probably going to be there at 7:30 before they open. So be like leaving like normal. Oh, it's all right. Just be careful. I'm going to get off here and I'm going to go park it, I think.
There you go. Sounds like a good plan.
All right. Catch you later, brother.
Yep. Good night, you.